This is the retest review for Algebraic Reasoning, Unit 8. We will be reviewing systems of equations. Number 1 says solve by graphing. Before we can solve this by graphing, we need to get our equation into y equals mx plus b format. So for this first one, I'm going to rewrite it here so I have some more room. So I subtract 3x from both sides. Those cancel out. I'm left with 4y equals negative 3x plus 16. And then I'm going to divide both sides by 4 to get y by itself. Now I have y equals negative 3/4 x plus 4 for my first equation. And then my second equation, I'm going to go ahead and get that one. I'm going to subtract x from both sides, trying to get y by itself. So now I'm left with 2y equals negative x plus 8. Divide both sides by 2. I get y equals negative 1/2 x plus 4. So now I'm going to graph both of these equations on the graph here to the right. Number 1 is my b is 4, and my slope is negative 3/4. So I go to 4 on my y-axis, and then I go down 3, forward 4 for my slope. That's how I move. Down 3, forward 4. To do the back side of the line, I go up 3, back 4. Up 3, back 4. Now I've got points all the way through my graph. I can connect them with a line. My next equation is negative 1/2 x plus 4. I'm going to graph this one here at 4. Look, they already overlapped. I'm going to draw a little bit more of this graph. The slope is negative 1/2, so I go down 1, forward 2. Down 1, forward 2, down 1, forward 2. The other side, I go up 1, back 2. Up 1, back 2, up 1, back 2. Got a few points there. Now I'm going to connect these. The solution to solve this is where they overlap. They overlap right here on the y-axis. So my solution for this is 0, 4. You need to have shown both equations being put in y equals mx plus b format and the graph. You will need to do this for your test as well. Okay, let's look at number 2. It says solve by graphing. Y equals 3x plus 4, and then I'm given a table. I can use stat on my calculator to find out the equation of this line. I'm going to go to stat, edit. I'm going to put in at least 2 of the x's and 2 of the y's to get the equation of my line. So negative 3 and negative 1 for my x's, negative 5 and 1 for my y values. Now I press stat, over to calculate, down to number 4 to line regular, press enter, then scroll down to calculate and press enter again. So this line is y equals 3x plus 4. They're the same line. So I'm going to graph this line. I go up 4 on the y-axis. That's my y-intercept. And then my slope is 3. So I go up 3, forward 1. Up 3, forward 1. Down 3, back 1. Down 3, back 1. Down 3, back 1. And then I'm going to connect these points with a line. Now, if I redraw this line for my second equation, it would be the exact same thing. So I have infinite solutions. They will touch each other at every point. Okay, number 3 also says solve by graphing. 2x plus 4y equals solve. Remember, we have to get them into y equals mx plus b format. So this one, when I subtract 2x from both sides, I get 4y equals negative 2x minus 12. Then I'm going to divide both sides by 4. Those cancel out. I get y equals negative 2 divided by 4 becomes negative 1/2 x. And then negative 12 divided by 4 becomes negative 3. So there's my first equation. My second equation, I subtract x on both sides. Those cancel out. I'm left with negative y equals negative x plus 3. To get y by itself, I have to divide both sides by negative 1. I don't want to have a negative y. So everyone's signs change. This becomes y equals a positive x minus 3. So let's graph these. My first one, my y-intercept is at negative 3, and my slope is negative 1/2. Down 1, forward 2, down 1, forward 2. The back side, up 1, back 2, up 1, back 2, up 1, back 2, up 1, back 2. I have several points. I can connect them with my line. And then let's graph the second line, y equals x minus 3. So minus 3, and then my slope is 1. So up 1, forward 1, up 1, forward 1. They already crossed. I'm just getting some points because you get credit for graphing. So we need to see this graph drawn that you can graph your points and use the slope. Okay, so they intersect right here at 0, negative 3. If you forget how to graph the line given y equals mxb format of an equation, you can put it in your calculator and go to the table of points by pressing second graph. We will look at that here momentarily. Number 4. Okay, it says that we are going to graph these equations. They're already in y equals mx plus b format, so I'm just going to go ahead and graph them. So this, b equals 5, and my slope equals negative 2 over 3. So I'm going to go to 5 on the y-axis. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I go down 2, forward 3. Down 2, forward 3. Down 2, forward 3. To do the other side of my line, I go up 2, back 3. Up 2, back 3. That's as far as I can go. I'm going to connect those points with my line. And then I'm going to graph y equals 1/3 x plus 2. So my b, or my y-intercept, is 2, and my slope is 1/3. So I go to 2 on the y-axis. I move up 1, forward 3. 1, 2, 3. Up 1, forward 3. 1, 2, 3. They've already crossed. I just need to show that I can graph the other side. Down 1, back 3. Down 1, back 3. Now connect those with a line. Where did they cross? Right here at 3, 3. So that's my solution. 3, 3. Number 5. Two lines have the given equations. At what point do they intersect? Okay, so we've got y equals, there's no graph given, so we're going to go back to our calculator. So my first equation is y equals 2x minus 1. And then I'm going to input my second equation, 3x plus 6. I'm going to hit graph. There's my first line, second line. Okay, I can see here that it looks like they connected somewhere down here because then they're separating up here. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to go to the table of points. And I don't know why that's not working. Okay, so I'm going to go to my table. I've got this in y equals. We're going to close this and restart it. Okay, so this is what's in my y equals 2x minus 1 and y equals 3x plus 6. I'm going to press second graph. So I graph the lines, and then I'm going to go to table. Where they intersect, the two will have the same y values. Okay, so it was a negative number. I'm going to keep going. Oh, look, I passed it. When x is -7, both y values are -15. That's another way that you can use graphing for your equation. So the solution to this is -7, -15. Put a box around it. That's your correct answer. Number 6, we're going to do the same thing. Two lines have the given equation. So I have y equals 2. And for this equation, I'm going to get y by itself. So I have to subtract 2 from both sides. This leaves me with y equals -3. -1 minus 2 in your calculator is -3. So I'm going to put y equals 2 and y equals -3 into my calculator. Y equals, clear out what's there. In y1, I'm going to put y equals 2. And in y2, I'm going to put y equals -3. Then I'm going to hit press graph. Look, those are both hoi. They're horizontal lines. They will never touch, so there's no solution. They're parallel lines. Number 2. Two lines have the equations 5 plus y equals -x and -1/2 x plus y equals -2. At what point do they intersect? So again, we have to put these in y equals mx plus b format, our slope-intercept form, so we can put them in the calculator. For this one, to get y by itself, the only thing I need to do is move that 5. It's a +5, so I'm going to subtract it from both sides. This becomes y equals -x minus 5 for my equation 1. I'm going to put that in y1. And then in y2, I have -1/2 x plus y equals -2. This, to get y by itself, I need to add 1/2 x to both sides because it's negative. So I'm going to add 1/2 x to both sides. Those cancel out. I'm left with y equals 1/2 x minus 2. This is my second equation. So let's go back to y equals in your calculator. In y1, I'm going to put y equals -x minus 5. Make sure that you use the negative sign for negative and the minus sign for minus. And then my second equation, I'm going to do alpha y equals to get my fraction 1/2 x minus 2. Then I'm going to press graph. It looks like they intersect around when x is -2. So I'm going to press second graph, and I'm going to go to when x is -2, -3, -1. Oh, here, when x is -2, both y values are -3. So that's where they crossed each other. So my solution to this set of equations is -2, -3. Last one for your review. Let's look at number 8. So this should just be a number 8. Two lines have the equations 2x minus y equals 3 and y equals -1/2 x plus 2. Okay, so let's put those in our calculators. Y equals 2x minus 3, and then in y2, Alpha y equals for my fraction -1/2 x plus 2. I'm going to graph those, see where they intersect. My x is going to be positive, it looks like. So let's press second graph to go to my table. I'm going to go to where x is positive. I'm going to scroll back up. Look here. When x is 2, both y values are 1. So my solution is 2, 1. Okay, great. Go ahead and give your retest review to your teacher, and they will give you your retest. Thank you so much.